Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now then, got some, I think very important news about Samantha Murphy. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone before I start. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing. Thank you to my members. Thank you to those of you who send Ko-fis, etc. Thank you so much. And thank you for caring about Samantha, of course. Now, the thing is, this case, Samantha, 51-year-old mother of 3 children, went for a jog. They're in Ballarat in Australia and never came back home, very sadly. And we went through this sort of time of where the police were saying there was no suspicious circumstances. Then suddenly, yes, there were suspicious circumstances. They believed Samantha had been actually murdered in a targeted attack. That is their exact words. And then they arrested that young man, Patrick Stephenson. Don't know if I've got a photo to hand of him, perhaps not. I wasn't expecting to be talking about Samantha again until really the trial is next year in April. Anyway, they've done extensive searches. They arrested Patrick and he's been charged with murder and he will be tried. I think he's 23 now. He's had a birthday while he's been in custody, or he may only be 22. And he's the son of an NFL player, Australian football player. He's like a golden boy, golden Australian boy, to all intents and purposes. He's a tradie, as I say, comes from a good family. He's just like, he's one of those people that if he's found guilty, just shows us that monsters don't hide in the shadows. They don't always look like what you expect them to look like. Anyway, he's not been found guilty yet, so we have to remember that. But he was said to not be cooperating with the police, though he has gone out at least once with them, searching as they were searching for Samantha. But unfortunately, searches have been fruitless in the sense of finding Samantha's remains. They have found her phone. They found her mobile phone, didn't they, in a dam? The dog found it, one of those dogs that finds electronic devices. And they said, the police say, and the courts say, there's this unprecedented amount of electronic, data evidence. So the police haven't arrested this boy just because they felt like it. They've arrested him because they think they've got a case against him, even without a body. But of course, it's better if they find a body. And better, of course, for Samantha's family, because they've been told that she is deceased. As far as the police are concerned, she is deceased. There's absolutely no chance that she's not, that she's still alive. So as far as the family are concerned, they deserve to have Samantha back, at least to give her a proper farewell, and not to be thinking, where is she? Just lying out there somewhere. So anyway, this is where we were at. And then I hadn't done a video about Samantha for ages because there simply was no news. And the other day I just did like a little reminder video. And then someone who'd been to school with Patrick Orren Stephenson said he was tipped to be the next Elon Musk and all this kind of thing. Well, that didn't work out, did it? Mind you, it depends what you think about Elon Musk, really. And then those of you who watch my channel regularly, a couple of days ago, I had a dream. Do you know, this is really quite freaky, I think, because I knew nothing about this new search for Samantha at the time. And I had this dream. I've dreamt about Samantha before, in fact, a few times. And I dreamt that I was on like a guided tour of somewhere. It was in Australia. And it was like You know, I can still see it now vividly. We were like on myself and this guide. I wasn't sure if it was a guide or a police person, a policeman. It was a man anyway, in a sort of a uniform. And we were on these steps that were going up, like, and a helicopter went past. And I said to this guide, "Oh, what's that helicopter for?" He said, "Oh, it's nothing, it's nothing." And I said, No, it looks like it's looking for something. This helicopter was circling. And then as we looked down into this sort of clearing in the bush, there was a forensic tent over in the corner. It's like a squarish clearing. I mean, you know what dreams are like. I can't describe it exactly, though I do remember it clearly. There was a forensic tent, and there were all police there and everything. So I said to this guide, "Oh my God, it looks like a forensic tent. It looks like they found something down there." And he said, No, it's nothing. No, it's nothing. And then as he said that, it dawned on me that this man knew something about this. It was a really strong feeling in the dream. It was like a dawning dread that this man that I was on this tour with was the perpetrator of something terrible, and he knew about it. And he was trying to say to me, "Oh no, it's nothing." And he was getting a gun, going to get a gun out. I mean, it's a bit blurry. It was a dream after all. So I pushed him, just pushed him flying down. He went flying down all these stairs, landed at the bottom, and there was another policeman at the bottom, and that's when I woke up. So I presume he was apprehended. But it was really strange. It was such a vivid dream. And it literally was just a couple of nights ago. Definite forensic tent over there. Anyway, and I said in the video, I feel like it's going to be a break. I didn't really necessarily think about Samantha's case. I said there's going to be a break in one of these Australian cases maybe, and I just sort of laughed it off because, and it still may not be anything. So I'm not telling you that here to tell you yet, unfortunately, that Samantha has been found. But then my surprise today, as I'm searching, because I still sort of search at least once a day, just see if there's any news of Samantha, they are searching again. Will they find something? Oh my God, I hope they find this woman. Take her home. She needs to go home. Her family need her home. So, yeah, there's been a major update, according to the Daily Mail, in this search for Samantha Murphy, who vanished while jogging near Ballarat. A renewed search is underway for missing Victorian mother Samantha Murphy, with new intelligence pointing investigators to Enfield State Park, south of Ballarat. Now, I thought they already thought that was likely where she was. I thought they'd searched there before, but I don't know because, this happened quite a long time ago now. This was February the 4th in 2024. She went for a run on the morning of February the 4th, 2024 in the Canadian State Forest near Ballarat. And then in March, so as I say, so for about a month, the police were saying, no, there's no suspicious circumstances, blah, 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 blah. Then they said there were. And then in March, they arrested Patrick Orren Stephenson. And we were awaiting his trial, which just seems to be, it won't be till April next year. But no no sign of her body. Will they find her this time? I wonder. So a number of extensive searches have taken place, including in the Canadian State Forest and Buninyong Bushland Reserve, and the last search focused on the Enfield State Forest in September, and I think that was the one that they actually took Patrick out there with them. So the location is approximately a 15-minute drive from Buninyong, where Ms. Murphy's phone was found buried in the mud on the edge of an agricultural dam. Now, you know that it must be serious because the police have warned the police to stay away. They don't want the public around. The area is littered with dangerous mine shafts. We're back to these mine shafts again. So detectives from Missing Persons Squad are undertaking a targeted search in the Ballarat area as part of the investigation into the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. That was confirmed by Victoria Police today. So, I'm based in Spain, for anyone who knows. So the time here as I'm making this video is 7 o'clock in the evening. In Australia, it'll be night time, so they'll have done some search yesterday, I suppose, but I presume they're going to carry on searching today. We've not heard anything about anything they've found yet, but oh my God, I hope they do find this woman. So there she is. I don't know if that's with her children or the faces have been blacked out, I don't know, but poor Samantha. So she'd been married to Mick, her husband Mick. They had these 3 children. They had a business together, panel beating type business. I have a playlist about Sam. I've done a lot of videos about Samantha from the day she went missing, and there she is that morning, clearing up after her dog, and then off she went on her jog and was never seen again. And it was a case that captured the attention. It focused because in Ballarat, in that small. Well, it's not that small, but it's a place that had no murders the year before, and then in that first 3 months of that year, there were 3 gender murders of women murdered by men. So. It just was like this nightmarish sort of year in Ballarat. And it led to an outpouring of grief in the Ballarat community and the nation and internationally, with an influx of volunteers joining multiple earlier searches. And earlier this year, Detective Inspector Dave Dunstan said the police had worked tirelessly to find Miss Murphy. I think this will be very, it's given me like a shiver that, they will try their very best to bring Samantha home to this family. While nothing can erase their grief and loss, being able to return Samantha to her family has always been incredibly important to us, he said. I want to reaffirm to the community that the Missing Persons Squad remains committed to doing everything we can to locate Samantha. We still believe we can locate her. This year we will continue to conduct searches in the Ballarat area. So they said they would continue, including searches in areas highlighted by intelligence derived from a number of sources. They've probably got some electronic data about where he went, maybe the car or his phone or whatever. I want to reaffirm to the community that the Missing Persons Squad... Oh, sorry, I've just read that. He called on locals using areas of interest to be aware of their surroundings and contact police immediately if they believe they may have come across her remains. They're going to find her. Do you know what? I think I'm 100. I pray quite often that they find her. Look, this is Samantha and Mick when they were young. Oh, it's just sort of, Mick hasn't actually changed at all. In fact, Samantha hasn't changed, has she really? Just awful, isn't it? A happy sort of family just torn apart by the actions of this man. Allegedly. Well, so they've been torn apart by someone's actions, that's for sure. But anyway, as I say, it's I can't see that they will have arrested him unless they were pretty certain that he had something to do with it, but time will tell. We've still got a long time to wait until the trial. This poor family have got a Christmas to get through, another Christmas without Samantha. It's very sad. All these anniversaries, like important dates are the worst, aren't they? The fact that again, Samantha won't be there with her husband and her children at Christmas. It's very sad, very, very sad. So he has pled not guilty so far, and he elected to fast track his criminal trial. Well, I'll tell you what, if this is a fast track, I don't know what slow track is. Oh my God, to April next year. And this all happened, last year in February, early last year. And he's been arrested since the March. How can this be a fast track? I just don't understand it. But anyway, there you go. Must be the way it works in Australia. So I'm looking forward to the trial. Justice for Samantha. I mean, it's possible that if her body's found before then, maybe he'll end up pleading guilty. Obviously, he's not going to, he doesn't want to let them know where her body is. That's probably, if he is guilty, her body has got, there'll be incriminating things. It's been a long time now. You talk about skeletal remains now, probably, but the clothes and etc. Maybe there'll be some DNA or stuff like that. So anyway, maybe if they do find Samantha's remains, he may then plead guilty. But recently a couple of trials that we followed where they've pled guilty, and you think, oh, good at first, but then in a way it's not good, because they sort of don't have to I don't know. It's like with Madeline Soto and with Brian Kohlberg and the Idaho killings. Just think it's like they've sort of not had to face up to what they've done. I suppose at least in a trial, they have to, I don't know, face up to what they've done. But of course, in the trial, the family has to go through the agony of knowing what happened to their loved one. But maybe the family want to know that. I think I would want to know. I want to know what happened. Well, I hope I don't ever have to find out if I want to know what happened. So yeah, he elected to fast track his criminal trial, and he is the son of Orren Stephenson, who played 15 AFL games for Geelong and Richmond between 2012 and 2014. So he only played 15 games, but yeah. So please, if pray to whoever your God is, or pray to the universe, or pray to, send out your good thoughts, that this lady will be reunited with her family. Maybe this will be it. Maybe this will be the search that finally lets them bring Samantha home and put her to a dignified resting place. I hope so. I hope so. And my thoughts go out to them, the family, because I suppose the police will, the first people they'll tell that they're returning to search, I would imagine, is the family, to go and tell them, because they know then they're going to see it in the media, etc. And yeah, please God, let this lady be found this time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about Samantha. Let's just hope that this is the end of the quest for her. It's not the end, obviously, got the trial coming up, but, all that, just, I bet that, there probably won't be a day, even maybe not even an hour, that goes by that the family don't wonder where is their loved one. Okay, I'll see you really soon in the next video, and until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.